Well, welcome to the Stubai Glacier in the Tyrol, and conditions here extraordinary for the time of year. The resort here actually opened on September the 30th, which is its earliest opening for a long time. Normally it opens mid-October, opened at the end of September this year, and superb conditions here. We had about a metre of fresh snow this time last week, and well, skiing on the glacier here, it's more like skiing on ordinary pistes with good grippy snow. Powder all gone, but still plenty of snow cover, and it's extremely popular. 8,000 people skiing and snowboarding here today. This was the scene outside the main lift at 9 AM, in fact just before 9 AM. People swarming out of the buses there, so very busy indeed. Difficult to explain really to people in the UK that you can actually ski at this time of year and the conditions are this good. Most people in the UK in October think the winter is many months away. Well, it's not. I was in Pittsdale yesterday, that's another glacier, about an hour from here. Again, superb conditions there, slopes not quite so busy, long, wide, blue cruisy runs up on the glacier, and weather, well, as you can see, gorgeous blue sun. Some people are here making the most of it, others, well, slightly overdoing it actually, are now covering up with the glorious blue sky and hot sun we have overhead. And this being Austria, well, there's a bit of après-ski going on as well. Not quite the crowded stuff you see on the slopes normally in the middle of winter, but nevertheless, bit of an atmosphere here and great conditions here in Pittsdale. Elsewhere in Austria, well, we've got about 5 or 6 glacier resorts open, most of them here in the Tyrol, and other resorts opening in November. Obergurgl, which is just up the road from here, that opens in the middle of November, and then followed later in the month by Ischgl, which opens at the end of the season, end of November, with its usual opening concert. Nickelback performing this year, so I'm told, though sadly won't be there myself. And Meyerhofen also opens the same weekend. Elsewhere in the mountains, well, glacier skiing at the moment, Switzerland's a good bet. Saas-Fee and Zermatt both open. In Switzerland, we've got St. Moritz and Engelberg opening middle of November. The date's a little bit snow dependent, but I suspect it'll be towards the beginning of the month rather than the end, given that they also have some good conditions. Not quite as good as here over in the Eastern Alps, but still nevertheless good conditions over in Switzerland. In Italy, well, Trevinia, which links into Zermatt, that as well is open at the moment. You can get the list from the Trevinia side to ski on the Zermatt glacier. And elsewhere in Italy, well, Alta Badia, that opens at the end of November, as does Livigno as well, opening at the end of November. Resort Livigno I haven't been to. Got a trip there planned this winter, so very much looking forward to seeing Livigno, because I've heard, well, nothing really but good things about it. France, well, Tignes is open. That opened last weekend with some good snow there. And as well, Les Deux Alpes opens this coming weekend. That opens for a couple of weeks or so over the French holidays, and a few British people going out there for the half-term break. And then it closes but reopens again on November the 30th. From there, it's open through to the rest of the season. And November the 30th, well, that's quite a key date in the calendar for this month, because a lot of French resorts open that day. We've got well, La Rosière, we've got Les Ors down further south in France. We've got Megève opening as well, and Méribel opens that day as well. So busy old day, November the 30th, for resort opening. Also in France, well, there's a Cauterets, which is a resort in the French Pyrenees. Resort I went to last year actually, and fantastic resort it is too. It had the biggest snowfalls of any resort in the mountains last year. That's across the world, so huge snowfalls last year in Cauterets in the Hautes Pyrenees, and they'll be hoping for the same thing. That opens, as I said, November the 30th. Also November the 30th in the Pyrenees, some of the resorts in Andorra open. Arinsal due to open then, and also Soldeo. Obviously dependent on snow conditions. They haven't had as much snow over there as they've had in the Alps, but the temperatures are due to drop shortly, I'm told, so a bit of snowmaking will be starting there. Other resorts open, well, America, obviously a few resorts have opened in America, not much terrain open, and the remainder open up, well, for Thanksgiving at the end of November, the last weekend in November there. We've got Keystone in Colorado, that's opening on the 1st of November, and a week later Breckenridge is opening. Breckenridge also in Colorado, and a resort I'm visiting in January, so looking forward to seeing Breckenridge in January. But at the moment, as I said, superb conditions out in the Alps at the moment. Of course, it may not last. Who knows what the weather's going to do? The sort of short to medium term forecast I've seen is really, well, mixed, really. There's not going to be the heavy snowfalls that we had a week ago, so I'm told, but there could be a little dustings of snow down in the south if the temperature remains cold, but otherwise it's a sort of mixed bag over the next few weeks. Not due to get terribly warm, though a firn wind is coming in, I'm told, over in the Western Alps, which will warm things up sadly, but we'll have to see what happens there. In the meantime, as I said earlier on, fantastic conditions out in the Alps at the moment. Here in Stubai, you'd barely believe it's October rather than the middle of the winter. Fantastic conditions. We got about, well, I suppose it's about 30 to 40 kilometres of slopes open. Party atmosphere here at the base of the resort, with music playing and kit on offer and ski testing and snowboard testing going on, and a really, really good atmosphere. I fully intend to come back out to this part of the mountains this time next year to stay in Innsbruck, lovely city, and then just sort of pick which resorts are the best with the best conditions, because there's about 5 or 6 within a short drive of Innsbruck. In the meantime, this is James Coe for Planet Ski in the Stubai in the Tyrol in Austria.